Ready, guys. To wrap it up for today. Sorry, I'm a little bit late. I'm sitting here developing stuff, so I kind of I'm quite focused on the trading side of things. But look at this nice little pop to the upside, and not quite any continuation yet, but it is pretty volatile here at the end. 2 o'clock, we got the Fed minutes, and there's a nice little pop on that one to the upside, and kind of slop, and then a little probe to the downside, and this thing here had me thinking for a second. I was almost thinking of hopping on a short trade here, but it's getting late in the session, it's to aggressively do this. But usually when they run out of time, like nice little head and shoulder formation going on there. It sets up for a nice little move to the downside, but it's kind of late, and you have that the Fed minutes potentially driving it. So that's kind of late in the day, being too aggressive. Just usually get you in a bad spot. So. At this point, I think we are holding on to our gains pretty darn good. The Fed minutes, I'm not sure. There's nothing else going on. Yeah, but the Fed minutes came out at 2, and I think that's a pretty good sign that they read that they're happy with whatever they came out of that document. So starting off to the long side, we are up here testing the all-time highs, maybe even made an all-time high here. A little tick to the upside. But they are going to find resistance. It's going to be tough to bust through it, though we are in a pretty good spot. So unless we end up the day retracing all the way down here into that midpoint below the 45s, I think we may be in a spot where we can extend to the upside in overnight. So this could be a breakout we are looking at. It could be, but it's a little bit too early, and it all hinges on what happens going into the close, how they end up closing. So they can hold these two support areas, we'll be in good shape. But if they close at or below that 45s, I think that's going to go start range bound. If they close above it, they're going to start from the long side of the market, right? I haven't put on any trades today. They've been kind of too sloppy, too kind of range bound, not much happening, and a couple of moves which kind of came out of nowhere. But it hasn't been. There's been some opportunities in there. It's just this V top, V bottom stuff back and forth just makes it very difficult to look for a retest, kind of a failure trade. But this last dynamic, Fed minutes came out and they popped to the upside, nice reaction, and to the upside at that. So we're up here against that 65s. We're getting ready to potentially extend. Now, the continuation on this little bar to the downside is kind of the key thing here. If they can't, if that doesn't happen, we'll start off the long side. If it happens, the chances are we're going to be closing below that 45 level. So we'll see how it ends up. I think we have some earnings come out. I think Walmart reports earnings after the close, and that could be pretty interesting. So that is kind of where we end up right now. So starting off, range bound with a slight bias to the upside, and where we start. Looking to buy weakness, depending on when they close, but if they close above here, looking to buy against the 55s and the 45s, so rotations back up. Then on the NASDAQ and the bonds, bond market pitted on range bound. They're back up here to the 114.20, so not much happening. A little pop here at the Fed minutes to the upside. So no continuation down below the 114. That's a good sign. Below 114, it could start getting a little bit gnarly, but so that's that high volume area around that 114 held up pretty good, and we are heading higher. And if you're wondering what I'm talking about, it is this high volume area right here, this little mode. So they were probing below it this morning down here to these lower areas, and now they're kind of trading back up again. So probably going to stick in that low volume area in this range around the 115 now. So starting off range bound on the bonds, no follow through in the downside, at least for today. And the Nasdaq, big reaction. I see one stock here and following the Palantir stock is getting hammered for some reason. What if they reported earnings or something? But they're getting absolutely, man, $14 down. That's a good chunk on the downside. So Nasdaq also, I would say range bound on the Nasdaq. They're not quite out there in that range, but they're heading higher. They haven't really extended. They've been holding in this range we looked at this morning. So they haven't taken out the 22,300s. They haven't quite backed below the 22,090s either. So I'm going to start range bound, looking at the sell strength, the 270s, the 300s for rotations back down. I'm going to buy against support, the 200s. Probably drop this down to 150 and then in one edge here at the 120s for rotations back up. I'm going to adjust these for tomorrow. But starting off range bound on the Nasdaq, given what I'm seeing right now, so I'll take that for what it is. All right, so range bound Nasdaq, unless they fall out of bed going into the close. ES starts off with a slight bias to the upside just to see how they actually end up, but that's kind of unclear yet. We still got that last 15 minutes to contend with, right? Oil is holding in the range. Not much to say about oil. It technically structurally is going to go lower. It's just a matter of a little pops in between. Right now they're having a spat with Ukraine and it's Russia-Ukraine negotiations. So obviously there's going to be probably some risk premium on oil coming on that. So that's the kind of dynamic. Overall, I think structurally it's just heading lower. There's no ifs about it. So, but I'm still starting off range bound on oil, looking to sell strength up to the 72.80s, looking to buy weakness. That's down to the 72 and the 71.70s. Rotations back up again. And then finally gold. All right, they're back up again. So there you have it. So gold, they were all the way down here, looking at probing this 33 level, and now they have kind of completely reversed it. Took out the 39s and the 43s again. They're back up to this attractor point. So they are back to value at the 29, 45 to 50 area. So that's why they're trading right now. So there you have it. So starting off gold range bound with a bias to the upside. I would prefer to buy weakness on gold. At this point, probably looking at the 39.40 area, this edge, and then the 33s for rotations back up. It may be an edge in between. I'll see if I'm going to adjust this for tomorrow. It could be an edge right here on the 43, 44, but it's getting kind of diluted right now. So I think the better edge is that 5-letter edge at the 38s and then at the 34s for rotations back up. So still leaning long on gold, but I would start range bound with a bias to the upside. Trading in a right around that 45 level right now. All right, and then finally back to the ES, and yep, still holding. So let's see where they're going to go with this. If you're going to get some reaction to the upside, or how this whole thing ends up closing. But watch that 45 level. If they trade below that, and you can see the reason why. These are all the days been popping. One little probe to the upside, been holding that 45 level, and a good probe today to the upside. And if they can hold that, that's when we really open up to the upside. Alrighty, we'll leave it there for now, guys. And I will see you back bright and early tomorrow, Friday. And well, Friday, Thursday, right? Thursday. Or I'm thinking Friday already. I wish, right? I wish. No, Thursday the 20th. So tomorrow morning, what do we have? 8:30, we get jobless claims in Philly Fed. We have a speaker, leading indicators at 10. That's about it. Oil report at 11. So that's what we got going on the docket for news for tomorrow. But we'll leave it there, guys. So good trading. No trades on my part today. I've been busy with some other stuff, and with a sloppy market like that, you kind of stop focusing on it. But there were a couple of opportunities I kind of let slip away, but you kind of had to watch it all the time to get those. So anyway, we'll leave it there. I'll see you back in the morning, guys. Have a good one. Later.